Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to be reading through a leaflet that I've recently read, which is entitled Love for All, Hatred for None, Is It True? And it's written by Abdul Rahman Bauer. It starts by mentioning the Qadiani group claims that Khatam al-Nubuwat, i.e. Muslims, are spreading hatred against them, whilst they are spreading love and peace in the world, and in fact their slogan is Love for All, Hatred for None. Firstly, let me state that in referring to the group as Qadiani, we are simply referring to the example of the group themselves. On the cover of Mirza Ghulam's books, he is referred to as Hadrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. So despite claims from the so-called Ahmadiyya, this name is no more offensive than referring to someone as a Londoner or as a follower of Christ, a Christian. All of the content mentioned is checkable and is from the Qadiani sources themselves, and this includes some of the foul language which is used, and I will speak those particular words only to provide a deeper understanding of the disgusting nature of some of the messages provided by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and his progeny. This is not an attack on the Qadiani, and it's merely information for both the Qadiani community, who may only have access to edited versions of the works from Mirza Ghulam Ahmad himself. So, first of all, let's look at the actual question. Are they really true to their claim? On the leaflet it starts with, what does Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani say regarding the noble prophet Isa, Jesus Christ? From Anjami Atham Ruhani Qazvin, volume 11, page 289, it says, yes, he, Jesus Christ, had a habit of swearing and using foul language. From the same book, Anjami Atham Ruhani Qazvin, volume 11, page 289, it should be remembered that he, Jesus Christ, also had a habit of lying. From page 291 of the same book, it mentions he, Jesus Christ, had nothing but deception and deceit, and it was a pity the idiotic Christians are taking such a person as God. Astaghfirullah. It further goes on to say in another book, Nur al-Quran, this is from Ruhani Qazvin, volume 9, page 448 to 449, what can we say or write regarding your Jesus, and how long can we weep on his condition? Was it befitting for him that he allowed a prostitute at the peak of her youth and splendour to sit with him bareheaded and rub her hair on his feet and massage his head with illicit perfume? If Jesus' heart was free of ill thoughts, then he would have prevented a professional woman from coming near him. One attractive whore is seated so close as she is in Jesus' arms. Sometimes she stretches out her hands and rubs perfume on his head, or sometimes she holds his feet or places her dark lovely hair on his feet, and she is playing in his lap. It goes on to say regarding Prophet Isa's, Jesus' mother Mary, these are the words of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani from Chashma Masihi Ruhani Qazvin, volume 20, page 355 to 356. Maryam was offered to the temple so that she would serve the Bayt al-Maqdis, the sanctified house, forever, and that she would not marry. But when her pregnancy came apparent after 6 to 7 months, during the pregnancy, the elders of the community married her to a carpenter called Yusuf, and after 2 months in his house, she gave birth to a boy, who was given the name of Isa, Jesus. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad mentions the Christians and refers to them in such a way, addressing the Christians. Islam was assumed to be the same as the rotten and stinking religion of the Christians. This is from Daf al-Bala, Ruhani Qazvin, volume 18, page 242. He also said in Anjami Atham Ruhani Qazvin, volume 11, page 9, exceptionally wicked and evil people are born in the Christian nation. In his Malfuzat, the sayings of Mirza Ghulam, volume 3, page 330, he mentions, I possess more hatred and contempt for the fictitious God of the Christians compared to all the Muslims. So much so that if the hatred of all the Muslims towards the false God of the Christians was to be put on one end of the scale, and my hatred on the other, mine will outweigh them. So this is one of the sayings of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad from his own books, addressing the Christians. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad writes regarding Christian priests, so there is no doubt about the priests of this era. So there is no doubt that the priests of this era are antichrists and liars. This is from Nur al-Haq, supposedly. Ruhani Kazayin, volume 8, page 82. Mirza Ghulam didn't stop at insulting the Christians. He moved on to insulting Hindus. He mentioned Parmeshwar, the Hindu god, is 10 fingers below the navel, and that's enough for those who understand. This is from Chashma Marifat Ruhani Kazayin, volume 23, page 114. He went on to say in Arya Dharam Ruhani Kazayin, volume 10, when we ponder why such bastards who are lowly enemies lay allegations against the holy and beloved God Almighty. Mirza also wrote regarding Muslims, whosoever does not believe in our victory, referring to the Ahmadiyya, then it will be clearly understood that desires to be a bastard, so that he desires to be a bastard. Astaghfirullah. This is from Anwar al-Islam, Ruhani Kazayin, volume 9, page 31. He further states about the Muslims, our enemies have become wild pigs, and their women have gone beyond being bitches. This is from Najm al-Huda, Ruhani Kazayin, volume 14, page 53. In Anjam Atham Ruhani Kazayin, volume 11, page 337, so our naive opponents should have waited for their outcome and not reveal their uncivilized origin. When all of these matters have completed, wouldn't these stupid opponents be alive, and wouldn't all those who fight be torn to pieces with the sword of truth? These idiots will find no place to hide, and their noses will be severed, i.e. they will be humiliated, and the dark stains of disgrace will alter their revolting faces to look like pigs and monkeys. So this is his reference to people who don't follow him as a prophet. In Anjami Atham Ruhani Kazayin, volume 11, page 309, because they, referring to the ulama and scholars, are liars, and like dogs they are feeding on dead flesh. This is particularly apparent today, when you'll find many of the Qadianis refer to scholars as Maulvis in a very disrespectful way, and you'll see this is directly from the teachings of Mirza Ghulam. He says, O unfortunate disaffected people, O ignorant Maulvis, O naive scholars. This is from Ayumi Sullah Ruhani Kazayin, volume 14, page 341, 354 and 355. He also mentions wretched mullahs, filthy mullahs, lewd-natured Maulvis, filthy-natured Maulvis. The wrath of God will be on these Maulvis. This is from Ayumi Sullah Ruhani Kazayin, volume 14, page 413. Maulvis, worse than humans and absolute filthy, O filthy ignorant. This is from Ayumi Sullah Ruhani Kazayin, volume 14, page 413-4. He said regarding Nazir Hussain Delvi, who is of a cruel nature, and he's the founder of Takfir. This is from his Dafi al-Bala, Ruhani Kazayin, volume 18, page 238. These abhorrent and offensive beliefs, or that most people will find offensive, were continued with the writing of their second Khalifa, Mirza Mahmud. Regarding Christianity, he said, how wicked a thing is Christianity, how greatly deserving of hatred it is. This is from Qutb Mahmud, volume 7, page 66. Regarding the whole world being an enemy of the Qadianis, he said, our welfare as in one manner only, and that is we take the whole world as our enemy so that we can try to become victorious over them. This is from Qutb Mahmud, volume 12, page 372. Regarding the government of the Qadiani, it was stated that we don't have power so that we can forcibly rectify the people and throw that person that doesn't obey our orders out of the country like Hitler and Mussolini, and punish the one that is not prepared to listen and obey us. If we had power, then we would have done this within a day and not have let another day rise. That we have these shortcomings in us, but if we get power today, we will implement our orders. This is from Qutb Mahmud, volume 17, page 337. He referred to Muslims, that is, the second Khalifa of the Ahmadiyya Qadianis, Mirza Mahmud, said Muslims are like cleaners and shoemakers. He said that Allah has chosen us, meaning the Qadianis, and we will continue to get His bounty until we maintain our eligibility for it. Due to His bounty, the foundation that appears to be weak now will form the foundation for a great building, so great that the world will come inside it, and the people that will be left outside will have no standing. Like the promised Messiah, referring to Mirza Qadiani, after receiving revelation from God, said that these people will be like sweepers and cleaners. This is from Anwar al-Ulum, volume 12, page 548. So he's referring to Muslims and everybody else as cleaners and shoemakers. The leaflet finally mentions that this is really a decision for people who have any kind of ability to do their own independent research into the teachings of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. You've observed some of the writings of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani and his son, and the second successor, Mirza Mahmud, and this is regarding the statements related to the Prophet Isa and Christianity, to Hindus and Muslims, and the foul language that has been used. Is that a language of a noble and respectable person? Who is really spreading hatred, Qadianis or Muslims? Is this love for all, hatred for none? It's really up to you to decide. This was a sampling of the love that the Qadianis spread around, and the background from this is that the Qadianis have a borrowed slogan, love for all, hatred for none. The Qadiani group claims that Muslims are spreading hatred against them, whilst they are spreading love and the peace in the world. Essentially, the leaflet that I've read and its references prove from the Qadiani sources that this is not the case. I'll just finish with a few words from Sheikh Mumtaz al-Haq. People can become Hafiz, Sheikh, Alim, Mufti, Mufassir, Muhaddith, Faqih. One thing nobody can become, no matter how intelligent, pious and knowledgeable a person might be, is a prophet. Allah chooses whom He wants to make a prophet, and whosoever is chosen by Allah for this noble position, then he is blessed with all of the necessary noble and good qualities fitting for a prophet, so that they can be the best role model for their community. Qualities like complete aql, intelligence and intellect, so that he talks and behaves rationally and logically. All prophets are truthful, trustworthy, honest and just, so that no one has any reason to reject or doubt their message and claim. Absolute sincerity. Prophets serve Allah with absolute sincerity and do not desire anything from anyone. Prophets have sublime character so that people will be attracted to them and not be repelled. Most knowledgeable and wise so that they can teach people properly. Brave and fearless so that they can preach Allah's message without fear of anybody. All prophets were men so that they can deal with all people and all situations all the time as needed. They were all handsome so that people would not look down upon them but envy them. Prophets are innocent. If they were to sin, then people are expected to follow them, and hence people will be led to sin instead of piety. All prophets are from noble families with noble traits. These are only some of the special qualities all of the prophets were blessed with, and all the previous prophets were prophets for their respective nations, land, or a number of people. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a prophet for the whole of mankind till the day of Qiyamah, so his nobility and goodness was accordingly above all others. So therefore it's unfortunate for anybody who was blessed and made in the ummah of the beloved Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to then look elsewhere and fall for someone like Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. And from the previous things that we've mentioned, we can see that he did not possess any of the above qualities, and neither will anyone else in the future.